Our next esteemed speaker is Mr. Shawal. Mr. Shawal is the Director of Education and Outreach School 21. He collaborates closely with STEM USA, holding the esteemed title of a certified trainer. Mr. Syed will speak about School 21.
Thank you, Ms. Rana, for the kind introduction. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Ali, colleagues at Dome Publishing and Distribution, and Iqleed for this wonderful gathering, and obviously our guest of honors, all the education leaders and school leaders joining us. And we truly, sincerely hope that this discussion would bring about positive change in the region and obviously Muslim Ummah at large. Talking about School 21, we are a Singaporean-based education company specializing in STEM and sustainability. We are accredited by STEM.org. We're also members of their board of directors, members of the Catalyst 2030, and also part of the SDG Publisher Compact. This is a STEM and sustainability enthusiast education solution providers led by the International Publisher Association in the Europe. So this is just a brief overview, Ms. Aya. Yep. So as Dr. Musa mentioned in his initial discussion, talking about the integration of STEM multidisciplinary in its linkage and different curriculum. So we started back in 2017 on those same lines. Our motto was the school of today, to resonate with the challenges that our 21st century learners are facing. So, and then STEM, we came across the idea of STEM. The pedagogy really inspired us, as you mentioned, the real world challenges, engineering design, problem solving, 21st century. So we extensively did our research on this, and then we worked with STEM.org in 2019. And then based on this research, after COVID, we worked on making the solution smart, which my colleague Ms. Lindsay will be taking further. In 2021, we made the solution smarter for the schools who we also talked about in the previous talks about of the schools following sort of a different curriculum. So we made sure that the projects, the STEM pedagogy that we talk about, can be executable in schools around the world. So this is sort of our research-oriented organization that led. And it's also very important to understand the leadership, the cause behind this. So Ms. Aya, in the next slide, please. It's very important. Leadership is always the backbone. So our leadership has 4 decades of experience in education, and he realized that the kids of today are very different from the students he had when he initially started. So he had this realization as a psychologist, and then the application of technology and the impact it had in different industries. So he was imagining, like, obviously this education that we have taught our kids is not going to work in the future. So that's hence he actually initiated this research team back in 2017. He's also a philanthropist working on thalassemia, currently director for STEM.org SARC. And he's also working on the youth who have graduated from schools to make sure that they have the relevant skills to get jobs. And he's collaborating with some of the leading organizations to make sure that the youth get the jobs in this transition time when we are transitioning into a different industrial age. So just a brief overview of our leadership. And next, so our work, luckily for me, I have again Ms. Lindsay to talk about in more detail. So I'll just give you an overview. So thankfully to our partners in the Middle East, the likes of Dr. Ali, Iqleed, and Dome Publishing and Distribution, we've got the approval from the Ministry of Education in Saudi Arabia, and this is the first approval. We are very blessed to have it to endorse the research work that we have done. Yep. Next slide, Messiah. And in addition to the endorsement from the Ministry of Education from Saudi Arabia, we've also got the STEM.org Review Trust Mark on our work, and we've also been nominated for the best in STEM in 2022 by STEM.org in the Newsweek article in US. So just a brief introduction of our company. And last slide is next slide, Miss. These are some of the FAQs that we normally get. So since we will be covering it in the next session, the best implementation, who is the best teacher, is there online coding and all. So we'll be covering all these points. So this is just an introduction of STEM, and we are very thankful. The discussion was very insightful, beyond my expectation, and we are really enthusiastic to be working together on this shared cause and shared vision to see a prosperous tomorrow. Thank you so much. Ms. Rana, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Syed, for providing such valuable information during the webinar session.